Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Counting on fans recall traumatizing moment on the show. Counting on alums Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar shared the majority of their marriage and the growth of their family on TV. Many fans got to watch many of their kids grow and eventually marry. However, some Redditors can't help but recall one of the most traumatizing things that Jim Bob and Michelle have done during the show. Keep reading to see what it was. Counting on. Will Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar document the upcoming holidays? The Duggars are known for documenting their massive family gathering at the big house for Christmas. And with only a month away, many fans are curious if they're doing the same this year. Jim Bob and Michelle let their kids document their previous holidays, including moments from their indoor party. Many were also surprised that Jill attended the family gathering amid her strained relationship with her parents. Jim Bob and Michelle are no longer active on social media since the CSAM arrest of their son, Josh, in 2021. Due to this, some fans began digging into their old episodes. But many were caught off guard when a Redditor recalled one of their most disturbing episodes. Fans recalled traumatizing moment on the show. Some Redditors discussed one of the most traumatizing episodes in the show. The poster shared screenshots from when Jim Bob and Michelle were making glass at a factory. However, the camera angles and how their mold was suspiciously shaped disturbed many. According to some, the film crew and even Jim Bob and Michelle exactly knew what was going on, but they played along with it. Here are some of the comments the married couple received. Despite their social media inactivity, Jim Bob and Michelle remain in touch with many of their kids. Michelle usually travels to visit some of her married children and spend time with her grandchildren. One of her most recent appearances was during Jinger Duggar Vulo's pregnancy announcement vlog, during which she spent time with her daughters in a hot tub. Not much is known about Jim Bob today, but many people believe he's still upset about the imprisonment of his son, Josh, and he's still trying to overturn his case. When TLC's Counting On premiered in 2015, it aimed to offer viewers a closer look into the lives of the Duggar family, focusing on the next generation after 19 kids and counting. The show, with its blend of strict values, family dynamics, and moments of levity, quickly became a cultural phenomenon. However, not every episode was filled with joyous milestones or lighthearted family antics. Over the years, fans have pointed out certain moments they found uncomfortable, shocking, or downright traumatizing, revealing the darker undercurrents beneath the show's squeaky clean surface. The Umbrella of Authority lecture. One of the most discussed and criticized moments in Counting On was Jim Bob Duggar's explanation of the family's umbrella of authority. During a family meeting, he described how every member is expected to live under the protection of the patriarch, likening it to an umbrella shielding them from harm. The concept was framed as loving guidance, but many fans felt uneasy about the overtly controlling implications. Viewers took to social media to express their discomfort, with one writing, "It felt less like protection and more like a way to keep everyone obedient." Another added, "Watching that as a teenager made me question why the women in their family seemed to have no autonomy. It was scary to think people live like that." For some fans, the umbrella concept became symbolic of the Duggar family's rigid rules and gender roles, sparking debates about the ethics of showcasing such beliefs on mainstream television. The courtship contracts. Courtship was a significant aspect of Counting On, with the Duggar children navigating strict guidelines in their pursuit of marriage. These rules included no kissing, no hand-holding, and constant chaperoning. However, what many fans found especially distressing were the courtship contracts. In one episode, the family discussed how prospective suitors needed Jim Bob's explicit approval before pursuing a Duggar daughter. Not only did the young couple have to agree to strict boundaries, but Jim Bob also maintained control over their communication, reading texts and emails to ensure purity. Fans shared their reactions online, with one noting, "It was like watching a business transaction instead of a relationship." The lack of personal freedom was shocking. Others described feeling secondhand embarrassment for the Duggar children, who often appeared uncomfortable or hesitant during these moments. Jill's painful birth story. Jill Duggar Dillard's birth experiences were a recurring theme on the show, offering an intimate look into the challenges of parenthood. However, during one particular episode, fans witnessed what many described as a traumatic ordeal. Jill, hoping for a natural home birth, endured over 70 hours of labor before complications forced her to transfer to a hospital for an emergency C-section. The scenes showed a visibly exhausted and distressed Jill as her family tried to support her through the grueling process. While the moment highlighted the unpredictability of childbirth, many fans felt it crossed a line. "It felt invasive watching her struggle like that," one fan wrote. "The cameras should have been turned off to give her some dignity." Others criticized the show's tendency to glamorize home births despite the risks, arguing it put unnecessary pressure on the Duggar women to follow a specific narrative. Josh Duggar's scandal and its fallout. Perhaps the most infamous moment in Duggar family history, and the one fans frequently cite as traumatizing, was the revelation of Josh Duggar's past misconduct. In 2015, news broke that Josh had molested several of his younger sisters as a teenager. This led to the cancellation of 19 Kids and Counting, though Counting On was later created to focus on the other Duggar siblings. The scandal cast a long shadow over Counting On. While the show attempted to distance itself from Josh, viewers couldn't ignore the underlying tension. In one particularly emotional episode, Jill and Jessa Duggar came forward to discuss their experiences as survivors. Fans described the episode as heartbreaking, with one saying, "Hearing them talk about their pain while the rest of the family tried to downplay it was hard to watch." Others criticized the way the show seemed to sweep the issue under the rug, focusing more on damage control than accountability. Gender roles and the virtuous woman ideal. Throughout Counting On, the Duggar women were often portrayed as aspiring to the Proverbs 31 woman, a biblical ideal emphasizing submission, homemaking, and childbearing. While some viewers saw this as a personal choice rooted in faith, others found it oppressive and at times unsettling. One scene that particularly stood out to fans was when Jinger Duggar Vuolo expressed her love for photography and hinted at pursuing it professionally. Jim, Bob, and Michelle, however, redirected the conversation toward how her interests could serve her future husband. "It was heartbreaking to see her dreams minimized," a fan commented. "It felt like she wasn't allowed to have an identity outside of being a wife and mother." For many viewers, such moments underscored the restrictive expectations placed on the Duggar daughters, sparking conversations about feminism and freedom of choice. The mission trip controversy. In one season, the Duggar family embarked on a mission trip to Central America, showcasing their efforts to spread their faith. While the trip was meant to highlight the family's charitable work, it instead drew criticism for what fans perceived as a white savior approach. Viewers pointed out how the episodes seemed to focus more on the Duggars' experiences than the people they were supposedly helping. "It felt exploitative," one fan wrote. "They turned someone else's struggles into a backdrop for their spiritual journey." The controversy extended beyond the show, with many questioning the ethics of short-term mission trips and their potential to do more harm than good. The overarching theme of control. What ties these moments together, fans argue, is a pervasive theme of control. Whether it's through courtship rules, gender roles, or the family's portrayal on television. While some viewers initially tuned in for the novelty of a supersized family, many found themselves increasingly disturbed by the lack of individuality and autonomy among the Duggar children. "I started watching because I thought it was a wholesome family show," one fan explained. "But the more I watched, the more I realized how much pressure these kids were under. It went from entertaining to unsettling really fast." Reflection and backlash. In the years since Counting On ended, many former fans have reflected on the impact of the show, both on themselves and the Duggars. While some appreciate the insights it provided into a unique lifestyle, others regret supporting a program that, in their view, perpetuated harmful ideologies. Former cast members like Jill Duggar Dillard and Jinger Duggar Vuolo have since spoken out about their experiences, shedding light on the behind-the-scenes realities of life in the public eye. Their memoirs and interviews have added layers of complexity to the story, revealing struggles with control, trauma, and self-discovery. Conclusion. Counting On may have started as a feel-good family show, but for many fans, it became a case study in the consequences of strict fundamentalist beliefs and the pressures of reality television. The moments described as traumatizing.